One. And welcome to Offsides Podcast. We about to kick it off. Free agency has been crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started because to go around the room and get everybody's thoughts on how they're feeling today, it's not what really matters. What matters is how we feel about this free agency. Today we got two guests. We got my boy Josh and my brother as well, and my brother Dwell. And
What up?
he's brother because we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? And we got June. June looking like he's still.
June's my brother too. June's my brother too.
He is. He is. What's up, guys? How y'all feeling, man? Dwell, how you feeling today?
I feel amazing, man. Coming out of Florida, 86 degrees. It's getting warm. The sun is out longer. I love the hour. I hope they don't go back on the hour change, just to let you know that. Just leave it. Farmers know what time it is now. They don't need to change the hours anymore. But drinking shout out to 10 Cup whiskey. Love it. Mountain whiskey if you never had it before. But yeah, I'm excited to be here, man. This is gonna blow up, and I truly believe that. And I already said it, Pete. I told Frankie today that I'm gonna get a bar, get us a stage, and we're gonna do this live on set in front of everybody at a sports bar.
Yo, Pete, you meet me here. We drive down, bro. We load up the truck. We drive down.
And we gotta get Josh. We gotta get June in there. Come on, like,
Who's in Jacksonville?
We take the bus. We take the bus with us.
Him and James can come over from Jacksonville. Now Josh got to fly in, but he from Tampa, so that'd be like a little quick trip going home and then stopping him where we at.
But yeah, I'm blessed. I'm loving that it's warming up now. The go away cold.
Oh, not here. Watch me, Virginia. If 70-something degrees today, it'll be 30 degrees tomorrow. Josh, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I just flew in from Dallas this past weekend, and I had some of the best barbecue in my life, man. If you ever have make a field trip to Texas, visit Hutchins Barbecue. It was rated #1.
Shout out to Hutchinson, writing that down. Love food.
I promise you, if you don't like it, I'll reimburse you. Everything.
Hey, I'm gonna eat all of it, but I hate it, bro. Hey, Pete, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. How you feel?
What's up? Glad the weekend's here, bro. That's it.
That is
Friday Eve.
June, what's good, bro? How you?
Man, busy, man. It's not one thing, it's another. Spring break started. Thank the Lord. I love these kids, but you know about these kids, the first two words I'll leave out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these kids, but these kids.
Yeah.
Military balls tomorrow, so that's that. I'm excited. Henry just posted some stuff, so we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we about to get into it. So free agency, man, it's we was waiting for it. We saw the tampering time. A lot of people started coming out. Just to go through the list a little bit of who got signed where and what they were doing. Russell Wilson, I think, is one of the big ones that stood out going to the Steelers. Patrick Queen going over there. Who else did the Steelers get? Let me go to the North.
A receiver, didn't they?
Yeah, they got Russell Wilson, Patrick Queen, Dante Jackson, cornerback, and Christian Kuntz. Yeah, I almost said the other way. I don't want to get canceled. You know what I'm saying? So
no, don't get canceled. Don't get canceled.
When I put the videos up, I put not for kids, so don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Me too. I do it when I add it to Spotify. But Pittsburgh, we got our boy Kurt Cobain over there going to Atlanta. So I'm gonna go around the room. I'm gonna say this. Acho did his top 5 winners of free agency. He had the Steelers #1.
You said Acho?
Yeah, from feet. Yeah. But it brought up an interesting conversation, man, that I think if we got time, I want us to touch on it. So he said #1 was the Texans. I'm sorry. Texans with Joe Mixon, the dude from the Vikings, and Aziz Al-Shir. And then let me do it better because I don't want to do the Texans dirty. They got Joe Mixon, Dalton Schultz, Danico Autry, Tim Settle, Daniel Hunter, Aziz Al-Shir, Mike Ford, Lonnie Johnson, Desmond King, Jeff Okuda, Eric Murray, and I don't know this dude, but Fairbairn, the kicker. Then he got #2. He got the Steelers with Russell, Patrick Queen, and Dante Jackson. #3, he got the Green Bay Packers with Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, and Keshawn Nixon. Then he got the Eagles at number 4 with Barkley, Chauncey, and London Dickerson, now adding Devin White to the mix. And number 5, he said the Cowboys because they only needed one thing. But I'm going to start with Pete because, Pete, I feel like you got it in your soul. To you, who's right now this week, who's the winner of free agency so far?
Well, we all lost because you used a list from Samuel Acho. So,
Emmanuel Acho.
Whatever, same shit. His brother's Samuel Acho. He's on ESPN. They both are horrible. Dallas, he put Dallas on the list, and they didn't even make a move, which is stupid.
They made a move. That's it.
Texans, I agree with. Philly should be higher because one of the guys that they got was the edge rusher from the Jets, Huff. So that was a big that to me was one of the biggest pickups because he was one of the good pass rushers out there. So I mean, for me, those are the top 2 teams. Steelers, Russell Wilson, you don't know what he's gonna do. It's his first year over in Pittsburgh, but
He doesn't even have the job. No, he doesn't even have the job. He doesn't even have the job.
He's there because he's getting paid from Denver.
Yeah.
So we don't know why he's there. But those two, to me, the first 2, the top 2 teams is the Texans and Philly.
But forget his list. I was just telling you what he said, because I see you don't. I want to know what you got to say about it, bro. I want to know your top winner. Looking at free agency kickoff, you're sitting there Monday, you're like, shit. Wednesday, 4 o'clock, it becomes official. You, who's your top winner this week? Or top?
It's between the Texans and Philly and Commanders. I know they got they signed a lot of veterans, but I'll give them some. I'll put them right there. But the top 2 for me is Philly and the Texans.
I'm gonna knock off the NFC East, bro, real fast because I got 3 of them here. I might as well knock them all out. June, who you got, man? Who's your top winner or top 2 guys, top 2 teams that you think came out winning?
I'll tell you what, man. It's gonna sound biased, but it's okay. It's totally okay. All right. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles first, and I'm gonna go. They just fill in that gap real quick. We're gonna talk about it later, but Barkley. They just posted. We just signed Devin White from the Bucks, which is huge. So that's the main reason I put them number 1, just because of that extra signing that we just did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the whole Russ thing and the Steelers movement. However, I also like the Cleveland Browns. They added that receiver over there, and I think with a healthy Chubb, Hunt, Judy, Amari Cooper, and whoever else they just signed, and Watson, I think that's something to be reckoned with. So I'm gonna go with those 2 right there.
All right, Dwell.
For me, it's the people that made a move to run for a chip, right? That's what you do to free agency. You go for what's the difference to make you a chip. So I'm going to say the Atlanta Falcons is my number 1.
Okay.
I think they with all the pieces that they have in place, they got some young dogs, and they got a quarterback that can rock out and dish it out. So for me, the Atlanta Falcons with the Kirk Cousins move. My second one is maybe a little bit of a homer because I do like the Chiefs, but I think signing Chris Jones, solidifying what got you and won you the Super Bowl, because the Chiefs did okay, but the defense, I think we could all agree here, the defense won the championship for the Chiefs, right? And really gave them that playoff run, especially on the road. Signing Chris Jones was huge. Like, you solidified yourself as, again, the top dog to win the Super Bowl. If they don't sign Chris Jones, then now there's a big debate about where Chris Jones went and now who's the Super Bowl contender, because we're not going to believe that the Chiefs can run it again without him.
Okay.
So for me, the biggest free agency was Kirk Cousins. Now everyone's going to pick Atlanta Falcons to win the South, right? If you think the Bucks can run it again, okay. I know Josh will give me side eye right now, but But the signing of Kirk Cousins solidifies that offense. And then same thing, one signing for the Chiefs solidifies that defense. Those are my two picks in the sense of free agencies. One move, one that stayed.
That's fair. That's fair. I like it. Josh, your take?
Yeah, he nailed it. I was about to say no one mentioned ATL. Let me tell you something. ATL is going to be a problem for all of us in the South. The only thing that I'm hoping is the chemistry, man. It takes them too long to get the chemistry going. And then by the time they get the chemistry going, it's already too late. But they already got a solid running back. Now you just added Cousins, Jim Harbaugh, and then I saw 2 targets. I forget the names. They just signed 2 wideouts. So it's just, and they got Pitt already there. So they got all the pieces that you're really looking for.
Everybody forgets Drake London, man. Drake London is a dog, man.
They got 4 wide receivers they signed. Ray McLeod or signed with them. Kadero Hodge, Darnell Mooney, and Rondale Moore.
They just got more in a trade.
From Arizona, yep.
Yeah.
But Desmond Ritter.
Yep. And then I don't know what their defense look like, but they solid on offense. They solid. I just hope they don't get it going until late in the season. So that's it's their division to win now. It's we can't even I know we won last 4 or 5, but it's their division to win to lose. So and then no one's talking about it. None of y'all mention it, but the Ravens, man. Yeah, a lot of people sleeping on the Derrick Henry signing. Like, I know he's late in his career, but you just took him from a losing organization. No disrespect to Tennessee, but they weren't about that, aggressive attitude with winning and Super Bowl hopes. But you just add him to the Ravens. Oh my goodness, man, that's going to motivate this man to be beast mode again. So that's what I'm looking out. I got the Ravens at my solid number 2. 3, 4, and 5 is Texans, Steelers, and Philly. Texans, we all know about Stroud, and you just gave him Zach Moss. What you think gonna happen? So he's going to be a problem. And then the Steelers is going to force Pickett to get his together. And then Philly is Philly, so. They just signed, what was that? The linebacker, and it was a running back too, right?
Oh, they took Saquon, and they took Devin.
Saquon. Saquon.
I'm not a big fan of the whole Saquon thing. I think they should have kept Swift. And they got Joe Mixon, not Zach. Zach Moss went to the Bengals. They got Joe Mixon from the Bengals when the Bengals.
Oh, Mixon. Okay, yeah. So yeah, man, they moved some things. They got some things going, man.
For me, I didn't even think about the Texans, to be honest, because they did so much last year that I didn't even see it this year. It's hard for me to put it on one per se, but I'm gonna go with it. When Russell, we recorded the week before Russell came out and said Pittsburgh, and I said Pittsburgh would be a place for him because of the coaching. We said before it started, we recorded, and we said, what can Cleveland do to add to the thing? I think June or you, Pete, said to add a wide receiver. And they went and did that. So we be the first to call it here in Offsides Podcast, just to let you guys know. That better get hit, because we've been saying it. Luckily, people have to work. If not, we'd be killing the game and putting out the news first.
No,
but
I heard it. You guys have crystal balls.
Yeah,
you guys have crystal balls.
Pause. But
Pause.
So for me,
clear as day, I can see them swimming. Crystal balls. You guys do tell the future.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I think Henry's a good addition to the Ravens. We talked about a Queen leaving, but they also do good in drafting defense. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in defense. I think Henry gives them a diversity, but I'm still skeptical on Lamar because Lamar didn't show up in that AFC Championship game. It wasn't like the other team that Lamar didn't show up. So if I had to pick, man, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Texans, and I'm not picking the Eagles. Don't worry about it. It'd be Texans and
a hater.
See, Atlanta. Kirk Cousins is not really that, bro. Like he's okay. He's okay.
You can be down 28, that man will still come back.
No, but see, the thing is, let's look like I think I like what not Pedro, what Dwell said. You're trying to make your team better than win a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And Kirk Cousins, his playoff record isn't that great. And you had Justin Jefferson, you had certain things in Minnesota that, you know, now you come into Atlanta. I don't know. So I'll probably go Texans because I think they're going to win the division hands down. I don't think anybody rocking with the South and the AFC side. And I think that June brought up a topic the other day on FaceTime, and I'll let him bring it up when it came to this. We didn't add in the notes, but you guys are professionals, so I know you can handle the question, and I'll address it when he brings that up. But so now let's do real quick. Who's your biggest loser right now for this week's free agency? So I'm gonna start with June because he got happy. June was like, yeah. Who you got, June?
Fuck them Cowboys, right? So I'll start with that right there, man. I actually have two, man. The Cowboys are always going to be number one in every negative thing I talk about. That's a given. But honestly, I'm going to go with Arizona. I haven't heard anything about Arizona. Honestly, what's his quarterback? Kyler Murray. What has Arizona done to help that young man out, right? That's why I didn't put Dallas number one. It's more so Dallas has some key pieces already. Arizona's struggling in every aspect of things. And I think they're even struggling in the quarterback position, to be honest with you. But they paid the man, so the man's gonna play. And I'm not talking about Xbox. So I'm gonna go with Arizona. That's just my pick, Frank.
Okay, Dwell.
For me, it's the Raiders losing Josh Jacobs. They lost their they re-signed their center, but they lost Josh Jacobs. He was the identity for that team. At 26, my third team was actually Green Bay because Green Bay signing Josh Jacobs I think was smart, but for me, the Raiders, again, I think they're too low to really address their quarterback. They have a quarterback issue. You had the one thing that's going for you in the sense of that combination with wide receiver and running back, and you lose that. So for me, it's the Raiders. They went backwards, in my opinion, to what I thought they did good at the end. They lost more than they gained. And for the price point that Josh Jacobs was asking for, they could have signed him.
I think so. Josh?
Not to be a repeat, but I was looking forward to Dallas doing something. Not really sure what their finances are. I don't really follow them like that. I'm not really sure what they salary cap look like or anything, but like I was looking forward to something because I'm not even a fan, man, but just to see them get dogged every year, you know, maybe I'm starting to warm up to having some feelings for them, man. You know, just hopefully they do something, you know. So I don't know. And Jones is still there, so maybe he's the problem. But I feel they're the biggest loser if I had to pick one.
Pete, Pete, what's up, bro? Who you got?
Dallas. Dallas I used to see them as neck and neck with Philly. But Philly pulled away from them right now because Philly made a whole bunch of moves and Dallas didn't do shit. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know they got some pieces. They still got a good team, but you see in your main competition for the division, maybe for the conference, retooling, and they don't even have a running back. Dallas does not have a running back. I know they're getting Diggs back. I know they losing Gilmore. They lost their left tackle. The clear loser to me is Dallas, bro. Look, you see how Dak played when that offensive line is not complete.
Horrible.
Dak is not the same. They lost their all-pro left tackle. They let him walk.
Mm-hmm.
The defense will still be good because they did sign a linebacker yesterday. This Diggs is coming back. Bland, who led the league in pick sixes, he's gonna be there. He's gonna still be there. So they'll be good, but like Philly kind of, I think, pulled away from them with free agency.
I'm gonna go AFC side, bro. I'm gonna have two. Buffalo with Gabe Davis leaving. The defense, Poyer, Tre'Davious White. Who's the other one that's over there? Poyer and Micah Hyde is gone.
Yeah, my guy.
They're losing a lot of pieces and they're not bringing anything in. And you know, you got Stephon Diggs who's disgruntled. So now, and I think McKenzie left them and went somewhere else. So I feel like they're losing that hold in the AFC side, the East side. And that's opening up for only really one or two teams to come take it. That's either Miami, but I heard Miami shopping Waddle around, and the Jets if Aaron Rodgers could stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? So, because I don't see us doing much right now. So I say Buffalo, man, and then I'm gonna go Jacksonville, man. Jacksonville, because they let Calvin Ridley walk. They brought in Mac Jones, which we're gonna talk about here in a second, and Trevor's already struggling. Right before I got on the call, I saw a stat that Trevor's like 12 and 26 without Ridley and Kirk. Christian Kirk on the field. So when he ain't got great weapons, the dude's he's got a losing record. So that's my take on it. Because Dallas, the thing with Dallas isn't so they didn't need much. They kind of got what they needed with Eric Kendricks as a linebacker. I understand the running back is a problem and the offensive line is going to be a problem, but they still got their receivers. And now we haven't even talked about it, but it's a good transitional piece. We don't know what's going to happen with Dak Prescott, man. He's at the Dallas PD actually confirmed that they are investigating him for a sexual assault from 2017. In our chat, in the Pod Squad chat, I put down another Deshaun part 2. I feel like that's their way of staining him to try to get rid of him. You know, to now because Jerry knows what's up, but that's another thing because we don't know what's going to come out that if they press charges or they do something, the commissioner can put them on that. What's that list where they can't play? The no play list or whatever.
The exemption list, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Where like they did Deshaun and other people, where you won't be able to play, even come to the facility. So I mean, that's another big look. They might be out of it this year just off the strength of that if it goes any further than what it is right now. That's my take on it. So we talked about the losers. I want to talk about something real quick. I don't want to get it too much into Dak Prescott unless you guys really want to touch on it, but it's just
when it comes to Dak, there's so much I don't know. Yeah. There's too much I don't know out there.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, personally, myself, I doubt where my own stepdaughter stood up for a guy in high school that they said that he raped the girl. And him talking, he was humbled. He was, you know, he told my stepdaughter, I didn't do that. But these girls were spreading that rumor, right? Mm-hmm. And it could ruin this kid's life, right? So I think about this now with Dak Prescott. And again, I've seen enough on Dak Prescott. He seems like a good dude. Like he seems like a dude that you can actually talk to and he won't be a dick. And I'm not a Cowboys fan in any form or fashion. He wears number 4 and Pedro know that's trash. But everybody who wears number 4 now is trash. But anyway, the guy seems like a good dude. And I'm not going to have an opinion until all the facts are out. And if anything, listen, the NFL is the face of sports here in the United States, right? And Dak Prescott is one of those people that if you saw him walking by, you're going to recognize him. Half the people in your social media, if they walk by you, you wouldn't recognize them right now. But if Dak Prescott walked by you, you're going to recognize him. Oh, shit, that's Dak. And he doesn't seem like a dick to me. So when it comes to this is his personal life, right? This has nothing to do with what happens on the field. At the end of the day, I don't have a comment on it because I need to know what the facts are, knowing that it could ruin his life and his career. That's my opinion on it.
Like I told you, I think it's a setup. That's just me, but I don't know. We'll wait until the result. We'll wait till more comes out and we could talk about it. June, we talked. I want you to bring this topic up because I think it's something that we could discuss the one about the top 5 teams or your top 5 or whatever, and you said you had a describe it, so because I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Which part? I know we talked about a lot of stuff.
Well, the one that you and Bree, you told Bree you wasn't gonna bring it up, and I said that I'm looking at the people that are gonna win the divisions, and you was like, you had a team.
Oh, in the AFC, right? That one.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we were talking about the and I told him there's in the AFC there's my personal top 5 teams, and I still stand by it, right? And I'm basing everything off of what was done last year, given the diversity they faced. And I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns being the team to beat in the AFC over Baltimore. And the reason I chose that one over that one was because I think that Baltimore's opportunity to win the championship was this past year. And Lamar is not a rookie. He's not a sophomore in the league. So I think given the opportunity that they had the right pieces, and the MVP was the one who let the ball drop, not the receivers or the slots or whatever you want to call it, right? And then the second one, but I did have Baltimore number 1, and then we fell down, and I told Bree that I had Jacksonville number 4, and the reason I had Jacksonville number 4 is because of the quarterback. The quarterback is going to make or break that team. I didn't mention the Bengals. I just think they got too many things going on in Cincinnati. Like I don't even think they have a solidified O-line to protect the quarterback year after year after year. And free agency happened. I still haven't seen anything to protect that quarterback. We haven't even touched on the Cincinnati during free agency, right? So that's just another piece. But that was my 4. I think I want to say I had Cleveland number 1 because that was the big discussion with Bree and I, and she just, took me out of whack. And then the second one was Baltimore. The third one, damn, what's the third one, bro? I don't know if it was Houston or not. And I know I had these cats number 4, Jacksonville. So that's where that came into play. But that was my main thing.
I think the reason she was so tight was because you didn't pick the Steelers, and she's a homer. So, and she feel like with Patrick Queen signing and all these guys. So what I told them guys, just to give you content, when he said that, I said I can't agree with that because if I'm gonna pick top 5 teams, I'm gonna start with the winners of divisions. So you got to go with the Chiefs as number 1 because they won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with the Ravens as number 2 because they was an AFC championship. I'm gonna go in the South with the Texans because they won that division. And then, I would go with the Bills up until this is before the signing happened. I said, I'm going to go with the Bills because they're the team to beat in the East. And I said, that's your top 4. And if I had to go 5, I'm not going Jacksonville because I feel like they just, letting go. We knew Calvin really wasn't coming back. So now it's like, what you going to do? You struggled last year to hold the division when you had the lead. So I think I went Pittsburgh on that one just because of the Queen signing and bringing Russell over and stuff like that. So based on that, I'm gonna start with Pete. Pete, who's your your team to beat in the AFC right now, or your top 5 in the AFC?
I don't have a top 5 is probably very similar to yours. I wouldn't put Pittsburgh in there. I know they're always they're always in the mix. They make the playoffs every year. Tomlin hasn't had a losing season, but I wouldn't put them in yet. I probably put Miami over them because of their offense. Just the fact that their offense is gonna get them some games.
Mhm.
Now in the playoffs, different story. But I would say a sleeper for me is the Texans. Texans are believing right now. They signed the guy from Minnesota for the defense. They got him and Will Anderson. They got a defensive coach. Stroud got weapons. Houston looks good to me.
Okay. Dwell, what about you, man? Your take.
AFC, I think the Chiefs are still the team to beat. They They've kept their nucleus. They kept the one thing that drove them to the Super Bowl, which is their defense and Chris Jones. So I think the Chiefs are the team to beat. My sleeper, in the sense of the AFC to kind of run run it through, is the Ravens. Would be the second one. I don't know. They wouldn't be like if they beat the Chiefs and Lamar and crew and the new running back starts trucking people. So the Ravens would be the second one. The NFC North, I'm gonna go with Green Bay Packers. Like they almost took it. Like they almost ran it with San Francisco. I think they got better on their defensive side. They sound the X-Man from the Giants. So they solidified a lot of the things that they needed to. Cowboys choke way too much. And then after that, it's the Eagles. I mean, that offense looks ridiculous now. Like there's no excuses, June. There's no excuses on the offense side of it. If they don't, it's the scheme. It's you can't get better than what I call the Black McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley, two dogs on the outside, a solid tight end, and a quarterback that was talking about MVP. So, like the Eagles should do it, but in the sense of Green Bay, man, Green Bay. If you weren't impressed with Jordan Love in his first full year, there's something's wrong with you, in my opinion. But yeah, those are my picks.
Josh?
For the AFC Chiefs team to beat, I would say Ravens a strong second, but they're not a strong second because we saw what happened with when Andrews went down. You know, they had to figure out a whole lot of things. So and then they got rid of Odell Beckham Jr. So I don't know what that passing receiver core gonna look like. So so my strong second right now, that's a threat to the Chiefs would be Houston, because everybody in the league saw what that boy did. I'm sorry, what that man did, and C.J. Stroud. So and he young too, and that's what you want. But what I really want to see C.J. Stroud do is, you know, me being a fantasy football player, I saw how he performed against strong defenses, right? So having a year experience in that, I'm anxious to see how he responds when he goes up against strong defenses. You know what I mean? On the NFC side, honestly, man, the Niners have something to prove. If you know, I like the Eagles, but the Niners really have something to prove, man. This has been two heartbreaking seasons for them back to back, and if that don't motivate you, I don't know what else would. I haven't seen anything. I might be wrong. I haven't seen anything as far as them losing key players. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, if everybody return, they fill in some gaps that they need based off of the stats they had last year. I think they'll be good. Coming in as a strong second, just like my man said, I did not see that coming from Green Bay. And they don't look like the team that we beat for sure in the regular season when they was doing all that in the postseason. It was then towards the end of the season. I don't know what that was. And if they do some more additions, look out. So Tampa Bay got their hands full, like I said, in the South. So I can't really call it right now. and Atlanta or Tampa Bay in the South. The Saints, Carolina, I'm not too concerned about.
So, Pete, you want to give an NFC in June? NFC, Pete, you want to go first, Pete? Or you?
Like these guys just said, the Packers are they're very similar to me. Like they're very similar to the Texans for me. Mm-hmm. In the different conference. Of course, the favorites, Dallas. Really, I'm just not impressed with them like I was last year. To me, again, like I said earlier, Philly pulled away from them. They got a little bit closer to San Francisco. I think they can match offenses. They both got premier backs. They're two tight ends, and then each wide receivers on the outside. It's like a push at almost every other position. Quarterback, Eagles got the advantage there. Running back, 49ers got the advantage. Wide receivers are push, and tight end is, to me, it's the two, and then let's not forget about the Lions. But the two top dogs to me is still Philly and 49ers. But Green Bay.
All right. June?
Yeah. I'm not gonna take anything away from Green Bay. I think that was super smart by getting rid of Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is a beast. I had him in my fantasy. He gave me points consistently, even last year, right? So I may even pick him up late in the rounds if he's still available in fantasy. That's a different conversation. But it definitely ain't the Niners. I think the Niners are kind of like that was it. I think last year the Niners, that was their opportunity. And I mean, they're shopping Deebo Samuel, you know what I mean? Which, I mean, regardless if he could only run one route, I mean, he's still a massive weapon over there, you know what I mean? I wouldn't get rid of him. But it is what it is. They see something I don't. I might have to go with the Eagles. God, it just sounds so biased, bro. I know, though. I know. I sound so biased, but
hit him with it. Hit him with it.
The thing is,
leave me out of it, man.
Shocker, he picked the Eagles.
All right. So the reason I'm gonna go with the Eagles, man, aside the fact that I'm a fan, we got CJ Gardner back. We got Isaiah Rodgers. We'll see what he does. We got Slay. Not fond on Bradbury at all. Trust me, I'm not. I don't even know why I said his name. We got Frank's my safety, that Frank loves the most.
Elliot? No. Is it? No, it's not Elliot. It's the white boy. What's his name?
Yeah.
But the dude.
And don't get me wrong, we still got all those draft picks, right? And we still got all of our draft picks, and that's not even talking, because my main concern wasn't the offense. We had to tie up that chemistry. We added some pieces, so we'll see what that is. But my thing was the secondary all year for the last 3 years, and but I think we're going to tighten up. And I'm just now free agency is going on. Now I'm thinking a little bit ahead, and I'm thinking of the draft. What are we going to do to solidify the free agency with the draft coming up? And that's now that those key pieces are put in place. What are we going to do? But I had to pick the Eagles. And another team that we haven't really talked about is the Rams. I mean, the Rams, they tightened up at the end of the year last year. God, we haven't even talked about the damn Lions. But that's a different conversation. And
because we're used to them choking, unfortunately. So it's hard to root for a team that chokes, man. It's just hard, June, you know that more than anybody else. You know, it's just tough sometimes as a fan of a team that's trash, like the Giants right now. Like it can't. Frankie, I know it's hard for you. Like for a bulk of your life, you've seen your team win.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you got to appreciate that. Like you got to appreciate that run. I think for the Lions, we don't talk about them because we haven't appreciated that turnaround yet. Like really, guys, what is it? 1 season?
And two. The good run was last year, and it came to coaching that they didn't go to the Super Bowl. If we're being honest.
Yeah, like Green Bay is spoiled.
Yeah.
Green Bay's spoiled when it comes to winning, when it comes to quarterback play.
Yeah, they
got it wrong. Again, I can understand that, man. But when it comes to the Lions, I think we don't speak about them, June, because it's just that there's not a longevity to say that's something that's sustainable.
But not only that, they didn't need anything else. They went far with what they had, and they haven't lost anything. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing, and we all agree on this, we talked about it. If it wasn't for Dan Campbell not going for the field goals, and they could have won that game. They could have won that game. And who knows? We could have been having a different discussion about who would have won the Super Bowl or not. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't, and 49ers pulled it out, and they went and lost to the Chiefs, where, when you go back and you think about it a little bit, maybe they should never made it to the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
I should have lost to Green Bay. They probably should have lost to the Lions, but they outlasted and went. For me in the NFC side, man, you know what? I'm gonna go with, and I'm trying to find it because I'm gonna fuck your head up right now, man. I'm gonna go with whatever team signed Jameis Winston. Now I'm playing. I really don't have one. To me, the Eagles are doing great. I think they've signed a lot of good players. 49ers, if they lose Debo, I think that's a big hit. So I'm gonna go with the NFC. I think the team to beat is the Eagles. They short up that defense. The linebacker is getting better. Safeties or the cornerback position is gonna get better. I'm not a big fan of Saquon. I thought Saquon was I rather kept Swift, but something Dwell said, they compared Saquon to Christian McCaffrey. They said he's the other version. He's not as good at Christian because he's injury prone, but he can do the same thing Christian can do. So it gives you that diversity that you need at the running back position, be able to run routes and stuff like that. Give the defense something to look at. So my only concern with him going to the Eagles, if he's the number one, how long is he going to last? We've seen him get injured. So do you have a running back to help out and take some of that load off? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to see more of Jalen running the ball and less throwing? I don't know. And so that's me. But if Debo does go to the Ravens, we'll be having a different discussion next week. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think if
that cannot happen. Oh my God, that's a cheat code.
I think I put it in our chat. I put it in the pod squad. I said with Derrick Henry, that's a game changer. That is a game changer. A guy that can pound the ball and still good. And then you still got Lamar Jackson back there. And then not to mention the weapons. If Lamar can keep it together like he did last year and not choke like he did in the playoffs, that team can go far, very far. But in the NFC side, I'm gonna go Eagles. It's kind of whack. I'm going Eagles, and I don't know. I want to see what I'm saying. Whack June is because everybody's going Eagles. I wish I could throw a.
I didn't even look over there, bro. I didn't even look at it.
I wish I could throw a curveball and fuck the game up like, sometimes people do, but I can't, not right now. I wasn't prepared for that one. I think Eagles are going to be in the best position. We don't know what the 49ers are going to look like. Is Brock Purdy going to regress on his third year, or is he going to keep progressing, or he's going to be where he's at? So I wanted to bring something up to the team. The Jaguars, they traded for Mac Jones, even though that's not like crazy, but it was a discussion for us in our chat. And I guess I'm gonna start with Dwell, and I'm not gonna give it to everybody. So it's gonna be like a 2-people thing. Dwell, what do you think what does that say that they brought Mac Jones in? Mac Jones' numbers and Trevor Lawrence numbers are pretty similar, to be honest. Same draft class, both first-round picks.
And less talent around them, especially with them losing Calvin. So
yeah.
I maybe Sunshine is feeling, and when I say Sunshine, of course, you guys know who I'm talking about. That he's lost too much in his career at this point because he was so used to winning, right? I don't think he lost a game until college, right?
To the NFL, I think, wasn't it?
NFL.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? So you didn't think that. Didn't he lose to Alabama? Maybe I'm wrong. They need to bring someone in to say, hey, you're not alone on this journey. Mac Jones is not him. So Mac Jones is there as a backup because maybe the injury is worse than what they stated, because he got injured at the end of the year. And the injury is actually bigger than what they're telling us. And they're bringing in Mac Jones. But I think it's still not an open competition. That's not an open competition. We know who's going to get the starting job. That's my opinion on it.
Okay. I'm gonna pass it off to Josh because I'm gonna give Pete and June a question. Go ahead, Josh. What's your take on it?
Just like it's no different than my take on any other team that brings in another quarterback to compete for the crown. Unfortunately, it be like that sometimes where quarterbacks in the league they say they ain't got nobody behind me, so I'm good. And then you bring in somebody. It might can go 2 different ways actually too, and hopefully it goes the way where I got to make sure I stay healthy, take care of my body, and make sure I'm performing, making all my throws, and all that stuff. And then for the person behind them, is an opportunity. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity, fresh start, fresh command. You know what I mean? And to show out and show what you can truly do. And I like it. I like the competition. Because I'm tired of these quarterbacks in the leagues thinking that they solidified their number one position, and they forgot, man. It's a privilege to work to be in this league, man. You got to earn your paycheck every single day, on and off the field, in my humble opinion. So, not to go deep in nothing, but I'm just saying.
No, that was good. That was good. So June and Pete, I'm gonna throw to Pete first. Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins. Conversation was going on. Somebody said that Kirk came out winning. Somebody said that Baker was better. Well, not better, but he would have rather have Baker. What is your take? Who would you rather have, or who do you think is better, Pete?
Kirk Cousins, because he's done it consistently more than Baker. Baker, I think, is his fourth team. I know Kirk Cousins is his third team, but Kirk Cousins in Washington got franchise tagged twice, put up numbers where he was able to go to Minnesota, get 2 guaranteed deals, and now he goes to Atlanta, where he was the top free agent out there. Kirk Cousins. Everybody gives him shit, but Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. So Atlanta, that's why the narrative in Atlanta has changed, because they got Kirk Cousins. They got a new coach, and now they're like, okay, these weapons, we can now see what these weapons on offense can do. So no slight to Baker, because I think a couple weeks ago we all said that we root for Baker. But it's Kirk Cousins all the way. It's not even close to me.
All right, June.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate just a little bit. 100% think that little Kirko. I don't like how they changed his name to Kirko Frost, right? I like little Kirko. I think it fits him well. But I think little Kirko is good. However, I like the adversity, and I like the way that he got over it. Baker, how he dealt with it. And right when I thought that, dang, I think that was it for Baker. He turned it around, and he composed himself. Because you remember when he came in, he was a little cocky, right? Coming out of college or whatever. He got put in Cleveland, and given the cards that he was dealt with over there in Cleveland, he was just a win or so away from going to the big game. And tore the team apart. It is what it is. Goes and gets a second chance and pulls out $100 million contract. Based on the adversity that he overcome, I would give it to Baker. And I don't know how Lil Kirko is going to perform after that Achilles injury.
I'm gonna go Baker, man. I'm a big Baker fan. I think what Baker had to overcome was 4 different head coaches in Cleveland, like 6 different offensive coordinators, something like that. And the fact that while in Cleveland, he took them to their first playoff game and win in forever. And it came down to them not being able to put the Chiefs away when Mahomes got hurt, and the backup came in. And I'm not gonna pull that on Baker, because the defense should have stepped up and shut that down with a backup quarterback in there. But when you got Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid under center, and then Steve Spagnuolo down up a defense to step up, it saved them again. But I will go. I go Baker, man. Baker's only been in since 18. He's only really had 2 winning seasons. 2020 with the Browns, and then last year with the Tampa Bay Bucks. And I don't know. I like Baker. I'm a big fan of Baker. Kirk, yeah, he has his moments. He comes through in the clutch, and he's got. If we're gonna say who's the best at getting guaranteed money, I think Kirk Cousins is the best in the NFL ever. The dude's got like $400 million guaranteed.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
If he ever writes a book on how to negotiate contracts, first one on the line, bro.
Yeah,
first one on the line.
For real. And I'm being honest, but to me, I'm gonna go Baker. I didn't like something that somebody said. It was Joy Taylor said something about That's why he's been on 4 teams. So he's not that great. But I think that when we say that, you need to speak about what he overcame as well. You know what I'm saying? The fact that his coaching staff and the fact he went to probably one of the worst organizations in football, in the Browns. You know what I'm saying? When Kirk Cousins was drafted after RG3. And I think they had some little good weapons and the Washington Redskins then, now Commanders, that when he came in, he was making moves and stuff. They should have probably kept him, in my opinion, but they let him go and he went and got his money. So I don't know. I think I go with Baker, in my opinion. I like Baker, but I like his commercials and, I like the way he dances. I can't dance like that. So I give him credit, man. I'm not going to hate on him. But Kirk, I like Kirk too. I've seen him on the quarterback, is it?
But the question was who's better, right? Not who we like more. I like Baker too. I root for Baker. But I think Kirk Cousins is the better quarterback all around. That's the question, right?
All right.
I like them both, but the better quarterback is.
I'm going Baker, man. I like Baker.
Hey,
see, you keep saying you like him. You keep saying you like him. Nobody hates Baker here.
No,
Who's
no,
the better quarterback?
Good. I think Baker's good. I think Baker's better.
So do I.
That's just
Do you think Baker is better than Cousins?
Yeah.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you why? And I'm gonna answer Duel's question.
I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm glad I'm doing this because it's getting the conversation going.
But don't say that you like him. We know this already. Why is he better?
I feel that Baker has done more with less.
Are you ready?
That's why.
Yo, have you seen what he had on the Browns, bro?
Hey, Lil Kirko only won 1 playoff game, and he's made over $400 million. Well, you take a quarter of that or less, and you give it to Baker, and he'll get you a lot further in the playoffs in the postseason for 10% of that pay.
So is it
I'm
that?
Just saying.
So okay, so is it that one's a better regular season quarterback than the other?
I'm going with Baker. I'm a Baker. I'm a Baker dude. But yeah.
Better. I honestly feel okay.
Because you guys like Baker, you're a Baker dude.
No. Listen.
We like the Baker.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a straight up question here, and I want everyone to answer it. 4th quarter, 2-minute drill. You want Baker over Cousins?
Yeah, I'm going Baker, bro. I'm going Baker. Look what he did on the.
Duel is just saying that because Jefferson caught all those balls. Pause. From
crystal balls today, baby. No, you guys are crazy, man. I'm taking Cousins in the 4th quarter on the 2-minute drill.
2-minute drill. Who you going with?
Well, me.
Who you going with?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Kirk Cousins. I'm just lobbying for Kirk Cousins for the last 5 minutes.
So we got him, Kirk. Josh, who you going with? Baker or Kirk? Now, once your quarterback, once your team paid.
I know, and ironically, I'm going with Cousins, man. I'm going with Cousins, and this is based off of what I've seen this man do. I've seen this man come back from being down at halftime. Man, it's just you don't know what you're gonna get with Cousins, obviously, but man, when he show up, it's over. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. And Evans is one receiver. We don't have 2 solid receivers like that for Baker to just do that. And Cousins, he can do it with just any receiver. So that's what I got.
Now, June said Baker. Dwell, so you going Kirk.
Yeah, Lil Kirko, whatever you guys want to call him. Listen, he's a veteran quarterback, solid. If would you take him on the Patriots, Frank?
No, I would not.
Forget the money. We're talking about the quarterback play.
It's not the money. I wouldn't take him.
All right. Well, let me ask Joshua. This is a great question for Joshua. Joshua, who would you rather have throwing to Mike Evans? Cousins or Baker?
Cousins.
And he won with Cousins. And he's winning with Cousins.
He's winning with Baker.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Imagine if he's winning with Baker. He's winning with Cousins.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, the reason I go Baker is because of what Baker.
You can't tell the Tampa Bay fan just got an answer right, and then you go in the opposite way.
No, I can say it because I'm going based on what Baker didn't have. How many head coaches did Christian Kirk Cousins had it in just the Vikings? How many head coaches? In his
Zimmer and then this guy.
Two, right? Two. How many offensive coordinators?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Like one or two. How many Baker had in Cleveland? He had to resurrect a team, bro. Like we can talk about all the comebacks that Kirk did. Oh yeah, whatever. Blah, blah. Okay.
Change is part of the game, man. It's part of the business. You can't give him an out because he's changing because they have a losing culture there. That has nothing to do with it, man. That's the Cleveland Browns. That's the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, and then he goes down to Carolina. It wasn't that good. They get rid of him. He goes to the Rams. He fills in. He does pretty good in the Rams. Go down to Tampa, post Brady, and takes him to the playoffs and wins the division.
You know what I love about this podcast is that when I listen to it, you guys really don't do the what ifs. Right now, you are doing the one thing I hate: the what if. What if Baker had the same consistency that Cousins had? No, Cousins was on the Redskins burning people. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Cousins is the better quarterback.
That's
the Tampa Bay fan that has Baker. I would trade out that quarterback for the other right now.
I honestly, I would take Baker over Kirk. And it's just because Kirk, and I like Kirk, don't get me wrong. It's just when it comes down to the postseason, they both about the same, bro. They both about the listen. We honestly, what is it? What they we
so
really
you're going with the younger one. You're going with the younger one. That's what it is.
Younger. We split in hairs. They both
so let me ask you, Frankie, a personal question.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a private or someone veteran on your ship doing something?
It depends.
Because the private looks good and he looks fantastic. He's promising. He looks great. Would you take the experience or would you take the private?
It depends.
See, now you are tippy toeing like a motherfucker. Show me your feet. You got some ballet shoes on right now, don't you? Show me your feet.
Oh no, over there.
Huh? I'm gonna tell you why. Because sometimes the vets are stuck in their ways, and they don't want to learn a new way. But you take that young guy, and you give him a little bit, and you mold him. He'll run through bulkheads for you, and do exactly what you want to do.
So then Cousins is coming from the same system that they're running in Atlanta. Isn't it the same LA Rams McVay system in Atlanta?
Yeah. Could be. Because he came from the Rams, so it could be.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's the same system. So you're absolutely right. This guy may be stuck in his ways, but he's stuck in his ways with the offensive coordinator that knows how to win.
Will Kirk win you games? Yes, he will. Nobody's debating that. But can Kirk take you to the NFC Championship?
See, we're not debating that, though. See, now you're going a different step. So, no, I'm not taking Kirk Cousins in the playoffs. I'm not taking listen. I'm not taking Kirk Cousins in the playoffs. Dak Prescott has more playoff wins than Cousins. That's shameful.
Does he?
I don't think so.
Say that again.
Please. Dak Prescott has more playoff wins than Kirk Cousins. And
they
that's
think
bad.
Kirk Cousins has one. So he has two. So then, he does. But it's not like he's got like 7 or 8.
I know that. What I'm saying is that's
I know what you're saying. You're right.
That if I had the playoffs, listen, if I had the playoffs, I choose Tom Brady every single time, every single year. Fantastic. Let's not do what ifs. Like, who's going to have a better record, the Bucks or the Falcons? And that's how you win this debate, by saying that. Who's going to win the South? Josh already said it. The Falcons are the favorite.
He said
it's a preference thing. It's a preference thing. That's all it is.
We don't know. We don't know what that's going to look like because like he said, it could take a while to build up.
Frankie, I'm going to give you $1 million. I'm going to give everyone here $1 million.
Okay.
You have to bet who's going to win the NFC South. Place your bet.
The Saints. If you giving me the money
Frank,
and it ain't my money, I'm going Saints.
you gotta go.
Yeah, it's about time to wrap this one up. If you saying the Saints with Derek Carr, all right.
But it was a good debate at home with Baker. It's all about Baker Mayfield. Nah, I'm playing. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan. I think he's good. I like Kirk too. On the quarterback, I like him, and I think that he's a good man. If it was me, you ask me a question. As a Patriot, would I want Kirk Cousins or Baker? I'm gonna go Baker. He's more mobile than Kirk. He has a strong arm, just like Kirk. And I think he brings a certain flavor to the team that these young guys can rally around. And he's changed. He was different than when he was in Cleveland. Yeah, in Cleveland, he had some maturity issues. He'll get on the press conference and stuff like that. But, when it comes to certain things, man, Baker, I don't know. You could say the what ifs all you want. It's not what ifs, it's facts. It's what he did when he had nothing and poor leadership. And look what he did when he had at least something decent with Mike Evans, Godwin, and they went 9-8. And probably one of the worst divisions in football. So if we want to give the asterisk, we could. Let's see what's gonna happen come August or September with the South. How's that sound? You want to put a pin in it until then?
No. I mean, you can put it on the board. Like, put it on the board right now and say who you got in the NFC South, Frankie. I'm not. We said crystal balls.
I'm going Tampa Bay. I'm gonna stand on it. And you know what? I'm gonna stand on it. Tampa Bay Bucks win the South. That's what I'm saying. At home with
June, just for that conference, who's gonna win it?
The division or conference?
Yeah,
I thought the division. The division. I apologize. The division.
Conference is different. Division. June, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Tampa. I like that. I really do.
Joshua is excited. You guys got him wet. He's brick right now. Oh, yeah, give me the Tampa votes.
Hey,
Tampa guy has BBC out right now. He's like,
hey, Josh, what did I ask you a couple weeks ago? I said, Josh, why don't we the Eagles are coming back down to Tampa in a couple of weeks from the beginning of the season, whatnot. Let's link up, man. He was like, I don't know, man, because my dog Baker, it depends. But then he just went with no Kirkville, man. So I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Wait, Josh, your dog's name is Baker?
No.
He's saying his dog, he didn't know about Baker in the playoffs against the.
I thought he had a dog named Baker, for real. Just stop.
Baker. Go ahead. Now, Baker answered a lot of questions, man. People just didn't know, man, and now they see how he went, man. Obviously, year 2 is going to be, the trial year, just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean? And as we rally, get some more pieces on offense and replace that middle linebacker, I think it's going to be promising, man. Minimizing the turnovers. It's our division really to lose, man. We, like I said, look at the stats. The last 5 is came to Tampa, man. So we the big dogs in the South as of right now. We just gotta protect that throne. So, but Atlanta, if there's any team I'm worried about in the South, is Atlanta. And they ain't even started practicing yet, and I'm worried. That's who I got.
Pedro, who you got?
It's a toss-up, man. It could be Tampa. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Tampa, but it's a 2-horse race for me. Tampa and the Falcons. I'm not worried. I'm not thinking about the Saints or even the fucking Panthers, because we already know the Panthers are shit. But the Saints, come on, Derek Carr, nah, come on. They didn't do shit last year. They're not gonna do shit this year. Because the division is better with Kirk Cousins there and a new coach in Atlanta. So look, is this coming from a Tampa fan? He's being fucking real about it. That that's something to worry about. They got a legitimate quarterback there, and to go back to the argument, the Baker. Look how everybody's looking at Atlanta now, just because they got Cousins. They're like in a whole different conversation now because they got Cousins. Baker's good. I like Baker. Got nothing against him. But
Everybody likes Baker.
Yeah, everybody likes Baker, but It's Atlanta for me. Frankie's gonna say the fucking Saints.
No,
The
Frank's
fucking
so
Saints.
stupid.
The straight face. He said the fucking Saints.
Yeah, you see, because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's too
Hate
early
to
to
say
know.
that.
It's too early. It's too early to know. For real.
Frankie, it's too early to be drinking that much. You should not be drinking that much to say the Saints.
No, yo, listen. The Saints come rolling in, bro. Watch.
I got a question. I know we started with free agency, but and I know we're on the Cowboys, and they're not making too many moves when it comes to free agency as well. But isn't that the staple of a good franchise? That they're not making moves, that they're trying to stay within what they have in their culture and their people and trying to run it back when they're making the playoffs on a consistent basis. Like again, I'm not an apologist for the Cowboys, but I do like what like in the Packers do. They'll take a first round pick, and that boy has to sit almost 3 to 4 years before he gets some run. But again, maybe they're an anomaly. Maybe they're just quarterback gurus. But for the most part, the Cowboys do have done well for themselves. And again, I know they don't make playoff runs or anything of the nature. As a Giants fan, I would take whatever mojo the Cowboys have to at least try to have an ideology that, man, we can take the division, we can run it. But I know the Cowboys didn't make any moves, but I gotta ask the group here for tonight isn't that what a good franchise does? That they don't make that many moves because they know they could kind of run it back? I'll just want to toss that up because I saw we were going to talk about free agency, and I know the Cowboys got some bad airtime, but I mean, are we saying that they can't win their division? Because they can, even without not making moves, they can win their division. But isn't that a good franchise? And I'll shut up and I'll get off my soapbox.
I'm if you don't mind. What's up, Josh? Go ahead.
I just got a quick question, man. Like the Cowboys was clicking on all cylinders. Jack was getting the ball out of his hand less than like 4 seconds a play, and then they just flop at the end of the year. They even had Brown on the Eagles saying, "Man, Hurt needs to take a play out of his book." Like I just don't understand what happened to the Cowboys. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
So the reason they can't make moves right now, even if they wanted to, they don't have the money. They don't have the money. So, like I said at the beginning, they didn't really need much on the team anyway. If we're gonna keep it a buck, the only position that they need to really worry about is quarterback. It's quarterback. If you put, let's go to your analogy. Put Kirk Cousins on there, and him and Dak ain't that much off. They're not that much off. They're very comparable. You might get a different outcome in the playoffs if Kurt was healthy.
Like 5 times.
The Cowboys don't have no money because they didn't manage their money right. They paid the running back that they got rid of. Then they had to pay a Dak late. Jerry Jones has a problem getting rid of his players that he drafts. He likes to hold on to them. He's too involved in the business. They got a good team. So really, based off last year's game, what you would have changed in the free agency right now? Nothing. Maybe get CeeDee Lamb a better receiver on the outside.
But then my question is this: do we look down upon them because they're not making any free agency moves?
I think we can, as disappointment as now analysts and podcasters of talking about it. But if we're gonna do that, I think we need to be real about it the whole way around. Can they really make moves when they don't have the money? And if we're gonna do that, let's look at the team as a whole. Did what they needed to change from last year to this year?
For me, it was trying to make Pollard a overall back. Right, that's me.
And he's gone.
And that line is still decent compared to most offensive lines.
Lost their left tackle.
Yeah, but and they lost their left tackle this year.
They can't make moves well because they ain't got no money. They managed it wrong.
But they are they still a playoff bound team that we can honestly say?
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't. So again, we have to be careful because some teams don't have to make that many moves. And
You're
that's what I'm saying in free agency in general. We're talking just comparing it to free agency. Some teams don't have to make that many moves because they've signed the right people. They got the right people in place, and they have to re-sign the same people to make sure they could run it back.
I think they can. I mean, look at the Eagles, right? So right now, if Jalen gets hurt, let's play the if game. If Jalen gets hurt, how good is that team? Who's their backup?
They got one yet.
Mariota's gone.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So if
We're
he,
about to sign Fields.
yeah, Fields or
There you go for a 6th round pick.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And even
I think-
Fields,
Listen,
I-
is that really out the realm?
Hurts down the
June,
field.
that's not out the realm.
No,
It's a
it's
very
not.
similar quarterback, very similar to Hurts.
Yeah, but I think Jalen's more accurate. I think Jalen's more of a
100%. But what's a cheap version of Jalen Hurts? Fields,
yeah.
Huntley.
like waiting on the corner with the wick check, trying to get that block of cheese. Is the only cheese you get to eat. Hey,
Yeah.
that's that version. That's the wick check version.
I think yeah, I don't know. I think the Cowboys, yeah, it's disappointing because they made a lot of noise at the beginning of free agency. Before it started, they said a lot. And then free agency starts and they didn't do a damn thing.
That's Jerry Jones, you know that, right? Because
Yeah,
he
I
says
know.
a lot every year. Yeah.
He ain't got no money, bro.
I think he said he's all in this year.
That's what he said. What was the salary cap, Pete? We put that up a few weeks ago or something like that. I think it was the Cowboys wasn't even in the top 10 in salary cap.
We're all in. Like Jerry, tell me when you weren't in. Tell me when you weren't all in the business.
And that I think Jerry's the problem. If you ask me, I think he's the problem.
It's the same. It's the same for the Knicks, bro. It's the ownership. You're absolutely 100% correct.
What is it? Cap. How should I?
What do you
work?
mean, like towards closest to over the cap? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like the cap. Who had the most cap space to the least? I want to say
The most Washington had the most. The
And it-
least was the Chargers or the Saints. It was the Chargers or the Saints. They were over the cap by a lot. That's why they cut Mike Williams. They may have to trade Mack or Bosa. But who had the most was Washington. They had the most by far. They had like 80 million in cap space.
then
I think the Chargers signed Bosa today. They re-signed Bosa.
I know Peyton's been too far behind. I just don't know where the Cowboys. I know we got him. I got in one of my chats, man. I just gotta look at it. I'm trying to Google it right now. I guess I'm not wording it right, but yeah, I'm gonna look into it. I think that's what it is, bro. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna knock them. It's easy to knock the Cowboys. I think the biggest problem is quarterback. They got the weapons. They have McCarthy turned it around, in my opinion. I just don't. I don't know what else they can do. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You can go get it. So they let go of Amari Cooper, and we talked about Cooper 3 weeks ago on the podcast about how good he is.
Mhm.
Maybe they
And
need
they
to
signed Gallup. They signed Gallup, but got rid of Amari Cooper. Now they're back to saying, "Oh, we need another receiver." You had one.
yeah.
But is Amari Cooper just too expensive for what he brings to the table?
They could have kept him and not kept Michael Gallup.
For the same price, you saying?
I'm not saying it's the same price, but still, like it's not off by much.
But
You wanna
but,
go- you-
but
you want
that's
more
the thing, right?
productive
In the sense
receiver?
of, I think they're just looking at the cap and
I got it here. Going back February 23rd. Washington had 96,000, Patriot 86 million. I'm sorry, 96 mil, 86 mil. Titans had 85, Bears had 82, Colts had 74, Bengals 74, Texans 72, Lions 65, Rams 52, Raiders 52. That's the top 10 teams. So the Cowboys wasn't even in the top 10 teams of cap space. So that's why they can't make moves, bro. When your money's tied up on that way, especially Elliott, who's not even on the team no more. You paid Dak. Was Dak really the quarterback of the future?
Mm.
And trust me, the Trent Dilfer proved that you could be mediocre, you could be mid, and win a Super Bowl. But what did
You
have?
went back.
He had a defense that only allowed, 21 points the entire playoff run?
that's one of the sickest defense I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly. So
And I remember the '85 Bears as a kid. And I tell you that man, that was I don't even know what the Giants with Collins as their quarterback was gonna do in that Super Bowl. It looked disgusting how fast and nasty that defense was. But with that said, Atlanta, to Joshua's case, going back to what we were talking about, Atlanta's defense is suspect.
Mm. Mm.
So you can get Kirk Cousins and Drake London and Bijan Robinson, Pitts, and have a squad like that, but you better be the Rams with what's the name of the quarterback? Kurt Warner. You better be like the greatest thing on turf. And Mercedes-Benz Stadium is a beautiful stadium in Atlanta. You better be beautiful as that stadium is. But their defense is still suspect.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think so. I think, that's another reason when you can throw it out there. You want to say that, you could say the Saints do have a strong defense. They've always had. They can apply pressure.
Oh my God, Frankie, stop this. Stop this, bro.
Being honest, tell me when
Stop
their
this.
defense sucked.
It's true. They always had a tough defense. The Saints.
Their offense was crazy, but Cam Jordan and a secondary can still do some things. That's what I'm saying. And the South is we got to be careful, bro, because it's so up for grabs. There's not one real dominant team. Like in the East, you could say the Eagles are dominant. When you look at the South and in the AFC, you could say the Texans are dominant. You look at the West, we can all agree that the Chiefs are the team to beat. And if you look at the AFC North, that's a little different, right? Because the North and the AFC side, we don't know. You got the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, and now the Steelers. It's crazy, man.
Like Frank,
Again,
how
I
many
stand corrected. Yeah, the Saints have always had a good defense.
Huh?
how many divisions you need to win in a row to be dominant? I just want to jot that down.
How many divisions you need in a row?
Division titles in a row you need to win before you can be considered dominant in the division. I just want to jot that down.
Oh, if you're going off my standard, it's gonna be more than 10 or 11 in a row because we did that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we did.
All right. All right.
He's spoiled, bro. Yeah, Tom Brady. You're so spoiled. You're so spoiled, bro.
AFC championships in a row. I just want people to know that. Like they said, when Brady still gets the mail at the Super Bowl, Brady, Julian Edelman, because June, you said something. I could walk by Dak Prescott in the airport and I won't know who the fuck he is because I don't pay attention to him. But if I see Julian Edelman, Gronkowski, or Brady, Danny Woodhead, James White, Amendola, maybe not Chris Hogan, Slater, McCourty, Hightower.
You're so privileged. Look at you name dropping like that. You're privileged.
What?
Silver spoon. Take that silver spoon out of your mouth.
It's not like that no more, though. Look at the Yankees. We have runs, and then we don't got runs no more. And everybody else starts winning. People forget that they got the most championships out of any franchise in sports. Not just baseball, sports. Do the math. It happens, bro. It happens. Every dynasty falls. Right, Pete? Every dynasty. The Roman Empire fell.
Not the undefeated fantasy team that I had. It never falls.
We're going to wrap it up. A lot of news coming out this week. I'm sure we're going to have more free agency news. This week was just a taste of the first week. We get ready to see the draft in a little bit over a month coming up. As we get close, I'm going to ask questions about the draft because I have my own take on it. But I'm going to go around the room to start it off. I'm going to start with June, then Dwell, Josh, and Pete, and I'll close it out. So, June, go ahead. What's your close, man? Your take, closing it out.
Well, man, free agency is still a frenzy. There's still a lot of teams out there that have to make moves, so I'm still curious to see what they're really going to do, to include the Arizona Cardinals, the LA Rams, and shoot, man, really quick, who's the backup to Donnie Jones?
Nobody knows.
Okay.
They signed Drew Lock.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Jesus. And then damn, who did Tyrod Taylor? He just signed with who?
Jets.
With the Jet. Okay, so he didn't go far.
Yeah, he just changed locker rooms.
Changed parking lots.
I just thought about it. They just changed locker rooms, but that's wild, man. Yeah. So again, man, interesting start to the free agency. I think it's super cool, man. It's super cool. I like the whole changes. It gives us something to definitely talk about, and I like the conversations on here, man. It's very entertaining. And along with the entertainment, there's a lot of truth to what we say. So that's the part that I like about this whole thing. So definitely a good time, man. I like the vibe.
Well, go ahead, bro.
This is the craziest free agency I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've never seen so many moves, so many grades of teams go up and down based on one person signing on one the other. But the one thing I'll have a final take on is, man, I just feel bad for Justin Fields. He's on a team that doesn't want him. He doesn't want to be there anymore. He's an overall draft pick. Do they take Caleb Williams first and have them battle it out? And again, just your take to Baker Mayfield, so many moves on the offensive side to really say, hey, have we given him a fair shot? I remember having a conversation about Daniel Jones with Pedro, and Pedro defended him and was like, man, so many moves on the offensive side. And I feel like same with Justin Fields, but I think Justin Fields has the potential, just isn't getting the shot that he needs and is getting unfair treatment. And every day that passes by, his value goes down. But I want to see the battle between Caleb Williams and him. I just want to see the Bears take the best person and see what that dynamic looks like in the locker room. So if that's a pre-indication to what's going to happen when we talk draft, I want to see what the Bears' next move are, and hopefully they don't give them to a 6th-round pick to the Eagles. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Josh, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, just like my man said, phone was going off, man, this weekend. I was trying to pay attention to what I was doing at this convention, but Bleacher Report app just kept going off. I'm like, damn, what happened now? So I was trying to keep up so bad. I probably missed some key players, but yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of shocker teams out there dominating this upcoming season just because of what we just witnessed already. And we didn't even get to the draft yet. So Fields needs to go into another I think, and it's my opinion, he is not in the right system. He's not in the right system. I don't know what system works for him and what team that is, but I think he'll be better off somewhere else. And you already know how I feel about competition, so I agree. They draft Caleb, it's on, so we'll see what's up. But yeah, it's any man's team, any man's day. I'm excited about the South. I'm excited about Debo, unknown. You know what I'm saying? If that happens and he leaves, man, that could really be a difference maker for whoever is able to snag him up. So that's my take, man. And I like this setup, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
No, you're welcome. I like you have being here. Pete, go ahead, bro.
Good to meet Josh. First time meeting him. Booba. It's I've known him like my whole life. Yeah, free agency was crazy. But there's still more to go. Like you said, the draft is coming. And the pro days are happening now. So but I do like Fields, not as much as Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield. But the GM kind of fucked up right there because I think he's trying to get the same type of haul he did last year for the pick. And he overplayed his hand because he has to trade him. He has to trade him or he has to trade the first overall pick. Mm-hmm. So he kind of overplayed his hand. So hopefully he goes to a good situation. So we'll see what happens.
Well, look, man, I again, great setup, good questions, last minute topics. Free agency, like Dwell said, is one of the wildest ones I've seen so far, and I'm actually paying attention to it, so it's pretty good. Love the fact that I'm retired. I ain't got to worry about going to work, so I get to watch whatever I want and see whatever I want whenever I want. But look, man, go ahead, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave comments, see what I could do better. Follow Play Call. Frank presents the Play Call. Follow the Bree Network. Also, hit Taino Creations up LLC for coins. If you have any coin needs and you want to do challenge coins, June is the man. Casey, home security with Vivint, right? And healthcare with ACN. Hit up Josh Casey on Facebook. Dwell got a bunch of stuff going on, so I'll let him put that out if he wants. But if you're looking at insurance and annuities, financial strategies, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. Again, these are a group of guys, man, that we take the time out to do what we do to talk about a sport that we love. And tune in. Thank you for stopping by. Peace.